lie to when the truth will do. I may be getting the loan. I'm not sure yet. That's just the easiest thing to say or do. Anyway, y'all. Okay. Also, it says if you have any questions, you can go to Navient AGS Settlement. Good morning. Happy Saturday. Remember back in the day, January the 15th used to be tax day. So much has changed. But I wanted to come on real quick because, y'all listen, we want to believe everything that people say, but sometimes you have to use your judgment. And so let me just get right into it. So they announced that student loan giant Navient was facing lawsuits and that they were going to have to pay some of the borrowers. So it says that they had lending and repayment practices that were not in the best interest of consumers. But what it says is, for the average Navient customer hoping for immediate relief, they may be left disappointed. Yesterday was a very big deal for certain people that have really been forgotten in our national conversation in the student loan crisis. This will be life-changing for a specific group of those people. But for everyone else, the fight continues. And this is from Mike Pierce, who's the executive director of the Student Borrower Protection Center. And this is a consumer advocacy group. So anytime that you have things that are going on that have happened to you as a consumer, you can reach out. You can start with your state attorney general. And if you don't get any results, go on the federal level. Listen, I'm one of those ones. If something happens to me, like if I buy something, and I've shown y'all, I'll link it. If I purchase an item and that item is no good, like it doesn't serve the purposes for which I intended. Something as recent and as, okay, years ago, I had bought some corn. I don't even remember the brand, but when I opened it up, it had like a little worm or something in it. So I wrote the company. Back in this day and age, I don't even think we had computers. So I wrote the company, put a stamp on it, and mailed a letter. And they sent me back all kind of coupons. Listen, that's how they learn to do better. Quality controls sometimes get missed, but consumers help businesses, even in complaints. So they says, who qualifies for debt cancellation? About 66,000 student borrowers with Navient loans may see their loans forgiven. These are borrowers with private loans, specifically subprime student loans taken out through Navient's predecessor company, Sallie Mae, between 2002 and 2014. Navient was formed in 2014 after Sallie Mae split into two business entities. In addition, those borrowers must have had more than 7 consecutive months of delinquent payments prior to June 30th, 2021. Student borrowers who don't have subprime loans may still qualify if their private loans were made between 2002, and 2014, and they attended a for-profit school that was later the subject of state or federal law enforcement actions. Those schools include Corinthian Colleges, DeVry University, and ITT Educational Services. A full list can be found on a website for the agreement. Okay, it says who qualifies for a restitution payment. About 350,000 federal student loan borrowers whom Navient placed into a long-term forbearance plan would be eligible for a payment. About $260 per borrower. State attorneys general say those forbearance arrangements had driven student borrowers farther into debt because while those borrowers were able to pause or reduce their payments temporarily, their loans still continued to accrue interest. Certain conditions apply to get the restitution, such as having at least one federal loan that was eligible for income-driven repayment and the borrower not having enrolled in income-driven repayment prior to the forbearance period. Borrowers whose federal loans were recently transferred to another servicer is that Advantage may still be eligible for restitution. And it lists all the states here. Okay, but I want to get to this part. What actions should borrowers take? If a borrower qualifies for either debt cancellation or a restitution payment, they will be contacted directly. A settlement administrator is expected to send those borrowers a postcard in the mail this spring, and checks will go out in mid-2022. For those borrowers who are set to get their private loans forgiven, they will be contacted in writing by July 2022. So I have heard stories from both of my daughters where they have heard someone say that they got a letter that their loans, the debt was paid in full. That is not what they're saying. Well, they say by July 2022. So do you actually think, because I was actually told that it still had to go somewhere else for concurrence or something. I'm gonna have to look it up. I don't want to hold y'all too long, but I just want to say, y'all don't believe everything y'all hear people say, because I don't know why people are quick to not be truthful. Who are you helping? So one of my daughters said that they got a letter that, well, both of them, well, one said that the person said paid in full, and my daughter that lives in Houston said that they said that their debt was canceled. So unless I see it, and quit believing everything people tell you. We were just discussing that they weren't saying they believe, but what I'm saying is, first, consider the source. If the person that tells you that is always lying, I'm just going to keep it real. And secondly, if it's a person who always wants to seem like they have the upper hand, why lie when the truth would do? That's what people used to say. Why lie when the truth would do? I may be getting the loan. I'm not sure yet. That's just the easiest thing to say or do. Anyway, y'all. Okay. Also, it says if you have any questions, you can go to NavientAGSSettlement.com. Let's go in there and see what it says. Let's see. Borrowers do not need to take any action to receive relief under this settlement. In spring 2022, the settlement administrator will send a postcard to each federal loan borrower eligible for a restitution payment using the most current address on file with the U.S. Department of Education. Please check this site periodically for updates on the timing for the postcards. They say that you do, listen to what it says. Federal loan borrowers who qualify for relief under this settlement do not need to take any action except update or create their studentaid.gov account to ensure that the U.S. Department of Education has your current address. Okay. So based on what I've read, it's not going to be until spring of 2022 until anyone gets anything. So y'all listen, quit saying that. I remember once before there was a lawsuit going around in our town, and people had to go to a law office to report, to do paperwork, application and all of that. And people were saying that they had gotten the money. Well, years later, the lady said that she no longer handle the case. She had to go through somebody else. Why do people do that? I don't know. Stop the lie, y'all. All right, y'all. It's Saturday. It's the weekend. It's MLK holiday. Do something, go and do some type of community service this weekend. Much love, everybody. Hey, welcome all my new subscribers. See you later. Bye.